Review of the TV show King of the Hill, nicely rebooted. Michael Patrick King's shocking announcement that the disastrous Sex and the City remake, and Just Like That, was scrapped came as little surprise. Many people criticized the show for its clumsy diversity, convoluted storylines, and terms like polysexual and comedy concert. The main character's radical change was the worst insult. The direct, outspoken Miranda was gone, replaced with a pod person who said she was in a romantic comedy. Carrie strolled about in a continuously detached condition. Admittedly, I probably would too, if my spouse died via a Peloton, while Charlotte had been reduced to a wide-eyed, screaming Stepford wife. And Just Like That swiftly turned into a case study on how to avoid reboots. King of the Hill's latest season on Hulu is young too, and just like that's young, that's how a reboot ought to be done. Despite mocking Texan culture, the satirical cartoon, which ran from 1997 to 2009, nonetheless managed to maintain its core message. King of the Hill utilized that fundamental hobby horse to deftly handle themes of gender, race, and class in the Lone Star State, even if every episode revolved on Hank's family embarrassing him or Hank embarrassing himself in some way. King of the Hill's reboot, or rather, its continuation, continues to mock Texas culture. Even if the characters have aged and the times have changed, their actions still exhibit the same narrow-mindedness. Hank and Peggy have relocated to Saudi Arabia, where he works on gas and propane accessories, since our previous visit to the hills. Due to the fact that the previous neighborhood was a Texas suburb, living in an Arab nation hasn't really altered them. Hank really enjoys football, which becomes one of the season's most entertaining running jokes, while Peggy now attempts to speak awful Arabic rather than Spanish. Bobby, meantime, has become a nice, albeit awkward, Southern gentleman and is now the chef of a German/Japanese fusion restaurant. The neighbors of the hills are much the same. Bill has let himself go. Dale is still a conspiracy theorist. Boomhauer, who is now wrinkled, is still a dumb man with a dumb stepson. But since Trump assumed office, his actions have gotten even more alarming. Others in the program enthusiastically embrace the conspiracy theories in his Substack, which are wary of the government and the epidemic. Furthermore, Dale is inexplicably elected mayor of Arlen for 36 hours. The series doesn't sugarcoat the reality that the Dales of the world are dangerous and real. Despite being grounded in the modern world, the new narratives are very straightforward. Bobby and Hank start competing with each other in the beer industry, and Hank finds craft breweries and the notion that beer should have a narrative to be confusing. Hank uses a TaskRabbit app to mend things since he's bored with retirement, but he quickly discovers that people don't really value his handyman abilities. All they want is for him to hear their conversation. When Bobby looks for the right Japanese charcoal to cook on, much to Hank's dismay, because it's not propane, he is accused of cultural appropriation. However, the program does have some poignant moments, much like the original series. Hank agrees with Bobby's decision to forego using propane after tasting his son's cuisine and finding it to be wonderful. Putting aside their rivalry over beer making, the father-son team finds that brewing together is far more enjoyable. There are a few somewhat humorous moments between Peggy and Hank, such as when she calls him a dirty boy for enjoying football. The characters respond as you would anticipate, yet there are now hints of further development in their actions. Its satirical targets have evolved along with Texas society, but the connections and fundamental characteristics of the characters have remained constant. As in Just Like That inevitably goes away, King of the Hill should return for another season.